Do you really want to see God? That's the question. If you really want to see, then you can see God. Because not only is God logically, philosophically, rationally, completely obvious, but it's actually scientifically provable. Are you ready to continue on? Yes. All right. So Krishna is systematically bringing Arjuna to rethink life, to realign his vision. And Krishna has just talked to Arjuna about love. And now he wants to spend 3 more chapters talking about love. But love is hard if you don't see someone, isn't it? It's sometimes hard. People say, love God, but I can't see God. Put your hands up if you feel as though you have seen God directly, just as you are seeing me today. Everyone is very humble. Or is it just that we've not encountered? Sometimes we feel, how do we love Krishna? Krishna seems so far away. Can we really encounter divinity? Can we really see God? Therefore, in these chapters of Bhakti, Krishna explains, yes, you can love me, and if you feel like you want to see me, encounter me, interact with me, you can. You can indirectly encounter divinity. Actually, Krishna says to Arjuna, you can also directly encounter me. And the most exciting, Krishna says you can intimately encounter me as well. In the 10th chapter, Krishna explains to Arjuna how you can indirectly encounter divinity every single day, because Krishna says whatever amazing things you see in this world comes from but a spark of my splendor. One time Srila Prabhupada was in an airport sitting next to a brahmachari. An air hostess walked past and Srila Prabhupada looked at the brahmachari and said, beautiful, isn't she? So he was baffled. How do you reply to that? Maybe Prabhupada is testing you. So he was quiet. Srila Prabhupada started laughing and he said, she is beautiful. But if she is that beautiful, imagine how beautiful Krishna is who created her. Because a devotee can see Krishna indirectly in every essential thing of the world. But the interesting thing is, Krishna says to Arjuna, I won't just indirectly show you how you can encounter me. I'll give you a direct opportunity to encounter me. And therefore, Krishna says, for 10 chapters, I've been giving you the audio version. Now let me give you the visual version. And in the 11th chapter, Krishna shows how he is controlling everything as the Vishvarup. But even more exciting than that is in the 12th chapter, Krishna explains to Arjuna how you can see him intimately, face to face as the best friend if you endear yourself to Krishna. So therefore, some people say, I can't see God. The world is abound with atheists who say, I can't see God. But consider this, 2 babies in the womb. One baby says to the other baby, do you think there's life after delivery? The other baby looks at that baby and says, of course there's life after delivery. It's obvious. This baby says, you're living in a dream world. This is where we live, and this is everything. The other baby looks at this baby and says, no, where we're living now is just the preparation. There's another place where there's full of light. This baby says, you're crazy. Full of light? Who told you all these lies? This baby looks at this baby and says, no, there's another place where there's more light, there's more people, there's more opportunities, there's another place where there's more fun. This baby looks back at this baby and says, don't you know, we are fed by an umbilical cord. Once this cord is cut, game over. How will we eat? No, this baby said, there's another body that we get. We get another body where we don't need an umbilical cord, where we can go freely. This baby looks back at this one and says, but why has nobody ever come back to show us? This baby says, no, once you come out, you don't go back. Yadgatva nani vartante. This baby says, you're living in a crazy world. You think there's people outside? You think there's someone who's nourishing us? This baby says, we have a mother. And the mother is all around us. In fact, we're in our mother. She's nourishing us. We can't see her right now. But one day we will see her. And you know what? We'll be able to smile and laugh and joke and interact and have a relationship with her. Dear friends, who is right? That is the question. The world is abound with atheists. There's probably no God. So now stop worrying and enjoy your life. Irony is, if you really want to enjoy life, then you have to connect with the person who's the supreme enjoyer. Here you have our friend Richard Dawkins. Don't have a personal vendetta against him. But if I met Richard Dawkins, what I would ask him is that if your theory is that everything is matter, we're chemicals, we come from nothing, life is meaningless, after death we go back into matter, if everything's matter, then nothing matters. Relax. Have a good time. Why are you on such a campaign to tell people that God doesn't exist? You see, there are different types of atheists in the world. Default atheists are people who haven't ever really even thought about it deeply. They just kind of go on in life and think, yeah, somehow or other we're here, whatever it is. There's a God, there's a God. Some people are philosophical atheists. They're the minority. They're the people who have actually deeply thought about it. No, I believe in the Big Bang. I believe in evolution. I believe in life from chemicals. And then there's a good number of emotional atheists. They are the ones who disbelieve in God because something went wrong. Something went wrong in their interaction with religion, or something went wrong in their life. If there's a God, how could he do this to me? None of these are good reasons to disbelieve in God. Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, you can re-encounter divinity yourself if you want to. But what does George Harrison say? I really want to. Do you really want to see God? That's the question. If you really want to see, then you can see God. Because not only is God logically, philosophically, rationally, completely obvious, but it's actually scientifically provable. In science, there's a hypothesis. And the hypothesis of the Gita is that we're a soul, there is a God, and through yoga, we can experience a relationship of love. And then there's an experiment. And the experiment is that if you engage in practices, plus you follow the lifestyle, plus you have proper attitude, then you can actually begin to interact with God. This is science because it's systematic, it's replicable, it's measurable, and And it's practical. You could do it. You could wake up tomorrow and start doing it. And Krishna says, there's actually an observation. Your life will change. Your character will change. Your desires will change. Your happiness will change. And everyone looking at you will say, you have changed. Bhagavad Gita is not a religion. Bhagavad Gita is a scientific process by which you can come face to face and re-encounter divinity. But you have to really want to see God. And so, in these chapters, it's fascinating. So much I want to share with you, but we have limited time. Krishna, if you look closely, he basically gives every single argument of why God exists. And these arguments have been picked up by philosophers over ages. Here, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I'm the source of everything. This, in philosophy, is known as the cosmological argument for God. What is that? Where did you come from? Your parents. Where did they come from? Their parents. And where did they come from? Their parents. So the cosmological argument for God says that ultimately life always comes from life. And therefore there must be a source, a life source, which is the source of everything. And when we get to a life source, which is the source of everything, that has no other source, then you have to understand that life source is of a completely different nature. And whatever one you want to call it, you can call it. But basically that is God. Krishna already said it thousands of years ago. Here in the 10th chapter, Krishna says, everything beautiful in the world, all the design, all the nature, all the cosmos is from a spark of my splendor. In modern philosophy, they call this the teleological argument for God, or is called the design argument. Wherever you see design, wherever you see beauty, wherever you see order, clearly there must be some intelligence behind it. Prabhupada once picked up a flower and he said, if you simply study this flower, you will become conscious of God. Krishna says, I'm the controller. In the 11th chapter, he shows Arjuna how he's controlling everything. In philosophy, they call this the control argument. Because if you ask an atheistic person, why do things happen in the world? Then what is their answer? It's chance. But chance is not an explanation. Chance is just a word. It's not an explanation. That means you have to say you don't know. And therefore, Krishna says there's no chance. Everything is going on. Not a blade of grass moves without the will of God. And finally, the experiential argument for God tells us that if one actually engages in higher dimensional science, they can actually perceive God in their life. You can talk to God, you can interact with God, you can exchange feelings with God. God is a person. He's alive, he's attentive, he's accessible, and the most important thing is that he's affectionate. And Krishna says, Yo mad bhakta same priyaha. If you actually become dear to me by developing purity of consciousness and character, then I'm immediately attracted. Krishna is the all-attractive one. But did you know Krishna is also all-attracted? Because as soon as a devotee becomes pure, then Krishna becomes conquered. And therefore, people say, how can I love someone that I don't know? I can't see. But Krishna says, I'm here, I'm everywhere. You just have to want to see me. The intelligent study all about matter. No, the intelligent study what matters. Can you show me God? Sometimes people ask. Third class question. Can you show me how I can see God? Show me the process. That's a more intelligent question. Some people say, ask God for what you want. Therefore, God doesn't become so active in their life because they only go to God with a shopping list. Instead, ask God what He wants. Will you want to interact with someone who only comes to you when they want something? Or will you want to interact with someone who's trying to serve you and trying to help you and trying to bring out the best in you? Choice is yours. Krishna is a person. And some people say Bhagavad Gita is a religion. It's not a religion. Bhagavad Gita is a spiritual science. And therefore, when I came to the temple, I said to one devotee, I don't know if I believe in Krishna. He said, we're not trying to convince you Krishna exists. I said, someone call the police. This guy's in the wrong place. He said, no, we're not trying to make you believe Krishna exists. We are equipping you with the tools, practices, and processes by which you can perceive the presence of Krishna at every moment in your life. That is the Bhagavad Gita. And therefore, in these chapters, remember, the middle chapters, where Krishna, in these chapters where Krishna is talking about bhakti, he tells Arjuna, reawaken love. And if someone says, I can't love God because I can't see Him. No, Krishna says, you can see me everywhere. You can see me indirectly, you can see me directly. But most importantly, you can see me intimately. But you have to really want to see God. Hare Krishna.